All right, let's take a look at the notes in case you missed them from today's class. So we are going back to a review of Math 1 where we worked with exponential functions, and how do we know that this one wants an exponential function? Because the word problem you're working with had verbiage like an increase of 4%, appreciation of 15%, or a sales increase of 150%. Or it said things like a decrease of 8%, depreciation of 22%, or a discount. These kinds of phrases were huge heads up or hints that you guys are working with a percent multiplier. You need to calculate and find that percent multiplier before you can go ahead and work out the word problem. So let's look at the steps to do that. First of all, any of the words that mean appreciate, increase, sales increase, these are all going to go up and above the original value of an item. So we used a formula called the 1 plus R formula, 1 plus the rate. And then when it was decrease or depreciation or discount, or all these words mean less than, we knew that we had to subtract the R, subtract the rate, in order to calculate that multiplier. So hopefully those two formulas sound familiar. Here we go. Before I can just add that rate, I need to convert that to a decimal. So I start with the 4%. There's an invisible decimal there at the end, and I bump the decimal twice to the left, making it 0.04. So it's 1 plus 0.04. My multiplier is a 1.04 multiplier. Here I go for the next appreciation. I convert that percent to a decimal. The invisible decimal is there at the end. Move it twice to the left. I'm going to do 1 plus 0.15, and I get a 1.15 multiplier. Finally, we have a sales increase of 150%. Now, when are we going to see that kind of an increase? Not very often, but we're still going to just follow all the same steps and make sure we get that multiplier correct. We take that 150%, invisible decimal at the end, you move it twice, and this is 1 plus 1.5, or a 2.5 multiplier. Yes, that can happen. On these decrease ones, I highly recommend you use a calculator just to double check yourself. Start with the 8. Move it twice to the left. It's 1 minus 0.08, which gives me 0.92. Don't believe me? Type that into a calculator right now and double check yourself. This is what I mean about make sure you use a calculator if you're not sure. Take the 22% on the next one. Bump the decimal twice to the left. 1 minus 0.22 is going to give us a 0.78 multiplier. Finally, really small discount this time. Just follow the same steps. Move it twice to the left. Yes, there's a 0 there. 1 minus 0.025 gives me 0.975 as my multiplier. Go ahead and pause the video and you try these two on your own and then see how you do. All right, let's check it out. When we see that word depreciation, I hope you thought 1 minus R. 1 minus, move that decimal twice to the left, 0.17. This is a 0.83 multiplier. Finally, appreciation, use 1 plus R. Convert to a decimal. Yes, there's a 0 there. My multiplier is 1.027. How'd you do? So how could I summarize these steps to myself to make sure that I get this? In step 1, we had to choose the formula that was correct. Based on the word that's in the word problem, we have to choose the formula. Is it going to be the 1 plus R formula or the 1 minus R? Step 2, we had to convert the percent to a decimal. So don't forget to convert that percent to a decimal. And I'm going to put in parentheses, move 2 spaces left. Finally, step 3 is that we had to add or subtract based on the formula. So we just take the 1 and add that number, or take the 1 and subtract that number, and now we have our multiplier. All these steps are needed just to get the multiplier in order to do these word problems. And these word problems that we had you do, the 2 examples that we had you do, are just like getting us ready for section 2.3, which is coming up next week or the following week. So here we go. After serving in the military for 4 years, you decide to purchase your first home. You bought it for an initial value of $474,995. I went online, found out what a home in Oceanside looked like for a nice starter home. You expect to just find some roommates and help you pay for that mortgage. Hey, why not? The home has appreciated 6%. Here I am seeing those words, thinking to myself, boom, I know this is a percent multiplier. I know what to do with that. Appreciated means the 1 plus R formula. I need to take that 6%, step 2. I need to convert it to a decimal so that I can get this multiplier ready for this formula. Here I go plugging it in. 474,995 begins with 474,995. Multiplier goes next, repeatedly multiplying by 1.06 each year. And then the last 5 years, that's your time, your power. So then you have to take a calculator and remember, how do I plug that into Desmos again to get a power? Remember that little A to the B that we need to find on that Desmos button. And when you plug that in correctly, you should get 635, 650, and 46 cents. Wow, that home went up a lot. Let's look at the second scenario. Let's say somebody would rather just buy a super nice car instead of a house with roommates. You purchase a brand new BMW 4 Series after finishing. You bought it for $45,745. That's your initial value. And it has depreciated 7%. Ding, ding, ding. Huge red flag. We know this needs a percent multiplier and that it's going to be an exponential function. So let's go off to the side. When it says depreciate, I know it's the 1 minus R. The 7%, convert it to a decimal. 1 minus 0.07 is a 0.93 multiplier. Now that I have that multiplier, I can put it in. Last 5 years is my time t. So power of 5. Again, plug that into decimals. Use the a to the b function for exponents. You should get a value of 31,824 and 26 cents if you plugged it in correctly. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We're going to practice this again on Thursday, Friday in case you need more practice.